My baby story is really uneventful for about 4 of the years. My husband and I have been married about 6 years, and when we were about 3 years along in our marriage, we felt like we were finally at a place where we could kind of start thinking about having a family. So I was really thinking about having a family. He was not quite as, in a hurry, but I just really wanted it to happen. And I wasn't expecting it to happen right away, but I definitely, in my quiet times, I was really praying for that to happen. That was kind of the time where all my friends started to have babies, and so you get that competition thing going on. And so after 6 months or so, I started thinking, oh, it's not really happening, and wasn't worried, but just started thinking, okay, it's gonna happen anytime soon, please, So about 2 years passed, and I was just really struggling with wondering why this wasn't happening. If I could say I had one dream in my life, it was to be a mom. And when I started to contemplate the thought that that may not happen and that it may not be something that God wanted for me, it was really, really difficult to come to grips with that. And I was very angry, and a lot of my human sin really started to come out in me inwardly. Not a lot of people could see it, but anytime someone came and was pregnant, oh, it's so exciting, but inside you'd be jealous and you'd have self-pity, and you become a little bit of a victim, which I had never really been conscious of in myself, and it just started to walk down that road of all those things I didn't like about myself. And so that was about 2.5 years, and nothing had happened. And besides being just full of self-pity, I was just wanting to give up. It was like whatever, everything was, I don't really care. And then last October, I went to the corner retreat, which was a big step in itself because my husband didn't go with me, and I'm very a comfort zone person, so to go by myself was really, really hard. But I have great friends here who, invited me, and felt like it was something I really needed to do. So I went, and just for the first time in like 2.5 years, just allowed myself to be real with God, and how hurt I was that this thing that I always felt in me, I felt like he was saying no over and over and over again. And during the course of those 2 days, I just gave up, but not in the way of giving up what my desire was, because I had prayed so many times, God, if you don't want me to be a mom, just take the desire away from me, please. And he never did that. So I just had to trust that there was a plan, and waiting was part of the plan. And in that moment of time, I realized how much I had learned in the past 2 years. And I realized how God had formed me into a person who would be a better mom. And I just gave it up, and I just said, okay, it may not look like everyone else's story, but whose looks alike, I guess really no one's does. And he just gave me the picture of, a sunset that isn't the sunset that's perfect, but it still rises, and it still gives you light for the day, and it still gives you everything you need for that moment. And I just felt a peace about it, and I went home and just felt like I could just walk in contentment with where I was. And I really had to start deciding that thing that you've told people your whole life is, just wait on God, he has perfect timing, and you never really realize how hard that is until you do it yourself. And what I realized this year on the retreat was that day by day by day after that October retreat, I had to do it again and again and again, because that ugliness that was in me just wanted to creep in, and just, I almost felt ashamed that this thing that I felt like I should be able to do easily, I was not being able to. And I just waited and waited, and then about February, I decided that I needed to just really start focusing on other people's desires, because even though sometimes you put your desire on the back burner, it still is the thing that is first in your mind when you think about anything. And so I just started asking my friends and my family what I could pray for them, what they needed the most in their life. And fast forward up till July, my sister called me July 21st, and my sister's 18 months younger than me, had been married a little over 2 years, and she called me to tell me she was pregnant. And the amazing part was that in 3.5 years, she was the first person who had told me they were pregnant, and I just had pure joy for her. And little did I know, a week later, our 6th anniversary, I found out that I was pregnant. And so that night on our anniversary dinner, I got to tell Jeremy in a very weird, awkward way, because he had forgot that we could actually get pregnant, that we were going to have a baby. And every day since then, I've realized the beautiful thing that God gave me in enjoying the moment, because my tendency is to be anxious and to worry about every day of this pregnancy, and what million things could go wrong, or should you not be healthy, or all these things. But I've completely changed. My thought is the instant I knew I was pregnant, I became a mother, and my whole identity changed, and I realized that God had prepared me for that moment, and God had prepared our marriage for that moment. And so yeah, we have a baby girl coming March 31st. That's awesome. Pretty exciting.